came to Willow Springs to hear a story about how the track ended up in the California high desert from the grandson of the colorful character who started this place. Also, just like so many other car guys around Los Angeles do, we're here for a track day. I'm taking the Dodge Hellcat Challenger on the Streets of Willow course, which is a bit shorter and tighter than Big Willow. It's not exactly Hellcat friendly, but we brought this big bastard along out of just plain curiosity. The tires have a few burnouts on them, but other than that, it's completely stock. 6.2-liter supercharged V8, 707 horsepower, 650 pounds-feet, and only 275 street-spec tires, so not a whole lot of grip for a 4,500-pound car. Oh, what the hell? Let's see how it handles. So California had the one thing that a lot of places in America did not have, and that is real estate. There's a ton of space out here, and that was perfect for building road courses like Riverside and right here in Willow Springs, which, although it's up in the high desert, it's only an hour and a half from Los Angeles. So for track days, this is a really convenient place. Now, back in the 50s, this is where cars like the Porsche 917 were tested. This is a place that young racers like Ken Miles and Dan Gurney learned to do their thing that they would bring to the entire motorsports spectrum later on. So this was a great place because it's open all year round to learn your craft of racing.
I think it's because of the LA mentality. There's so much to do around here. We're just one of the attractions, you know. More people know about us in China than in our own back door. It's in our own backyard, you know. It's just one of those things. It's a conundrum. Lancaster was like a farm town. It was a farm valley. It was, if you look behind you, it was just a picture that, just desert. That's all it was, desert. And there were some people that did some agriculture stuff out here, but it was a bunch of desert rats is what it was.
So why was California such an important place for sports car racing? Well, the typical stuff, right? You had GIs coming back from World War II, and they were bringing cool little sports cars from Britain and from Italy, and they were settling here to work in the aerospace industry and other kinds of boomtown things that you would do in California. And on the weekends, they would come out to places like this, Willow Springs, and they would race their cool little sports cars.
Well, my grandpa, he was born in the Depression era, had to take care of himself, so he was very self-reliant and just had to do what he had to do. And he came out here and saw it and was like, well, I could really do something here. He was a visionary, real big-time visionary. He'd have the ideas and everyone else would do the work, you know? And so he just thought, I'll have a go at it. And what happened is there was a big lawsuit here at the time. And in walks my grandpa one time when they're having a meeting about this and says, I want to buy this racetrack. And they're like, oh, here's the sucker that's going to take this lawsuit off our hands. We'll get the racetrack back after he loses everything. He bought it on a lease, and it was just a dirt mix track. It wasn't paved.
But as California grew, the population grew, and the real estate prices went up, and so all of a sudden, all that space that was being taken up by a racetrack became more valuable. So a lot of those racetracks ended up being closed and turned into suburbs. That's something that California has, weather. So you could be out here all year round, whereas, you know, in the Northeast, tracks shut down in winter and you go snowboarding or something.
Cal Club came out and said to pave it, and we'll rent it from you and you can have a racetrack. And you'll have income coming in, you know? And so he paved it, told the paving company that he was gonna pay for it. And just like himself, he always had a little con going and let him come out here. He told me the story. He said he was up on the hill and all of Roseman Boulevard was just truck after truck of paving trucks. He's like thinking, oh my God, you know, what am I gonna do? Yeah, 20 grand back in the 60s, you know, that was a lot. And so yeah, the paving gets done. And so he had a way with people. He would rip someone off and they would leave totally beat, but they would say, that guy's awesome. That was just my grandpa.
All right, so Willow Springs is okay, we had a little tank slapper there. First thing is the tires are a little bit wonky. They have many journalist miles on it. If you know the Hellcat's MO, it is many, many burnouts. So considering that this car has probably had more burnouts than track time, and also considering that the rear tires are a little bit narrow for a car this big and this fast to really kind of get the most out of a lap time. Now the front straight, the streets of Willow, it is absolutely ridiculously fast, except then you come to this sweeper and you end up sideways, because that's what you do most of the time in the Hellcat. Okay, on this track with this car, I think even sport suspension is still a little stiff. I've always think normal is underrated. People stiffen their cars too much. You can see around here even that there are some cars here running way too stiff and they're just hopping around. You never get tired of the sound, do you? You never get tired of that throaty V8 with the supercharger whine up on top. Listen to that. Oh. Okay, so maybe the Hellcat Challenger is too much car to conquer the technical corners of the streets of Willow Circuit. Maybe the Hellcat would have been happier on the long straights and fast corners of Big Willow next door. But for an East Coast kid, driving a muscle car on any racetrack in the high desert is straight out of the official bag of California dreams. I get how locals who run at Willow all the time might be jaded, but for outsiders like me, there will always be a certain kind of California car magic here that we can't find anywhere else. And so you know I'll be back. Maybe next time with a Honda S2000 or something like that.